One of the surprising aspects about COVID-19 is that the symptoms differ from person to person. In some people, there may be some respiratory signs, but the senses of taste and smell would be lost. Others may have serious headaches and stomach problems. Some others might still have serious issues with breathing, a high fever, and need to be admitted to an emergency room. Now, the world is waking up to another harmful epidemic that seems to infect people around the globe. In medical terminology, it could be called intellectual imbecility. Or we're just gonna call it people doing stupid stuff during a pandemic. You don't really need the disease to have this symptom, because I'm afraid it's an infection without a vaccine. I mean, people have been doing stupid stuff way long before this virus. After all, there was a point when Tide Pods took the place of after-school snacks. But my point is that stupid stuff is spreading rapidly, and the support of it by head-nodding friends seems to be rising just as quickly as the virus is spreading around the globe. In other words, this is a global threat. I know well the need to open up the economy as early as possible. People are struggling, and the number of unemployed may compete with the stories we learned from parents and grandparents when they used the Major Depression as an argument to save another container of butter. Yet putting economics above personal and community health is both careless and stupid. One of the efficient ways to avoid the spread of any virus is to separate infected patients from others. And that is just what the New Hampshire medical workers wanted to do with their first reported case of the coronavirus. Apparently unaware of the dangers of contagion, the patient wanted to go to an event in Vermont across the state border. The healthcare officials said that the first coronavirus patient decided to attend a private event even when they had been notified of the dangers. The result was that everyone, including that person, had to be isolated for 14 days, and some of them tested positive for the virus. I know, it was still during the start of the pandemic with little awareness, but you can't deny that various other instances of infected people indulging in group meetings were witnessed when the infection was reaching a peak. If that's not stupid, I don't know what is. On the other hand, people were so curious about the possible cure for the virus that the suggestions for the cure reached pure absurdity. An interesting suggestion was made by Swami Chakrapani Maharaj, president of the Hindu Mahasabha in India, to stop the spread of the coronavirus. He assumes that the fair use of cow urine should be the ideal disinfectant for COVID-19. Although using cow urine in this way isn't likely to do any harm, other than the smell, it is unlikely to prove successful. It contains some bacteria, particularly because urine is not, in most cases, sterile. He also claims that eating cow dung will cure the disease. He even went on to state that anybody who chants Om Namah Shivaya, a Hindu mantra while applying the cow dung to the body, will also be saved from the virus. After all, novel solutions for the novel coronavirus. Another Indian politician, Uttar Pradesh's chief minister, Adityanath, had another fascinating approach to help combat the coronavirus. According to him, if anyone overcomes mental stress, the coronavirus can be stopped. He says that if a person overcomes mental stress, that he is unlikely to suffer from heart attack, kidney failure, or even coronavirus. At this point, we would like to apologize for the Indian viewers. We don't have anything against the beautiful and noble country, but there just seems to be a higher number of strange suggestions from the country. While talking about the suggestions for the cure, how can we ignore the stupid suggestions made by President Donald Trump? According to him, injecting oneself with disinfectants or ultraviolet light is likely to cure the infection. A moment of silence, please. Medical experts hurried to warn the naive not to swallow the disinfectant or try and put ultraviolet light inside of you. Maybe it's time for a regular disclaimer in front of every presidential briefing. Don't try it at home. Ironically, President Donald Trump later tested positive for the same China virus that he very much ridiculed. Unsurprisingly, he didn't act upon his own suggestions for the possible cure. Even a few clerics were affected by this symptom of stupidity. Some right-wing conservative pastors for greater influence are denying science. In spite of all the warnings and rules, they conducted mass religious services. They dared the authorities to take the required action. This situation can be attributed to this story. In the midst of a raging flood, there was a man trapped on top of his home. The first rescuers on the boat arrived, and the man said, "Don't worry, God's going to save me." So the group left. A helicopter arrived, and the man said the same thing. He ended up being drowned, and he said to God when he was in heaven, "Why didn't you help me during the flood?" God replied, I sent a helicopter and a boat. In this situation, the boat and the helicopter are medical science. There's no denying that spiritual connection helps, but putting others on the risk of a dangerous infection is downright stupid. Even the ministers are showing disdain for science. They are putting whole communities at risk of the deadly virus. The Las Vegas mayor wants to open the Vegas Strip and let the rates of casino infection decide which casinos should remain open. She's an independent woman. She also thinks gamblers will be shielded by the Las Vegas heat. Even by Las Vegas norms, it's cold and it's stupid. Not to be missed, Brian Kemp, the Republican governor of Georgia, opened massage parlors, hairdressers, and nail salons. This runs counter to the advice of the White House, and unless stores use Edward Scissorhands to cut hair and go-go gadget arms for nail technicians and masseuses, everyone is at risk. Some Midwestern governors have also been diagnosed with this symptom. Leaders in South Dakota, Nebraska, and Iowa all seem to be doing verbal gymnastics to deny claims that the root cause of outbreaks is meatpacking plants. They pretend that big meatpacking firms are fantastic employers who always care for their employees. Yeah, this is an important industry, but the staff are often those at the lowest economic level, and they should have the right for their health to be protected too. Many celebrities also had the symptoms of stupidity during the pandemic, but the Kardashian-Jenners were the major highlight. Kardashians are always in the news for all the wrong reasons. No doubt the lockdown period was no less controversial for the Kardashian-Jenner clan. Let's start with Khloe. You might have seen the videos of people rushing to the supermarkets to buy things in excess as the world was coming to a shutdown. As for Khloe, she seems to be completely out of touch from the situation. What happened was on May 9th, she wasted toilet paper to pull a prank on her sister, Kourtney Kardashian. At that time, most people couldn't even get their hands on paper products, especially toilet paper, due to the extreme shortage. Not understanding that the joke was completely out of touch, excited Khloe Kardashian posted on her Instagram to show off her toilet paper-covered mansion, and she said that she was about to pull off a genius prank. Although the Kardashians are known for their lavish lifestyle, this attempt from Khloe for just a game showed how the reality stars are detached from the brutal reality that the millions of people faced during the pandemic. As for Kendall Jenner, she came off as insensitive while talking about her wealth. What happened was Kendall joined Justin Bieber and wife Hailey Bieber on Instagram Live. They talked about the lockdown and said how blessed they were during the pandemic, as other people are in a crappy situation. They said they can't feel bad for their wealth as they worked hard for it. People deem this as insensitive as the stars come from rich backgrounds, with their families already having established connections in Hollywood. Moving on to Kylie, it seems that she can't even keep up with her own words. On March 19th, Kylie was joined by U.S. Surgeon General Jerome Adams on Instagram Live. She talked to her 198 million followers about the importance of social distancing and staying inside. But turns out she failed to follow her own advice. Apparently, she considers herself to be above the rules, as she was seen driving with her friends and posted videos on TikTok while hanging out with her friends in her brand new mansion on April 19th. As if this wasn't enough, she decided to take a lavish vacation to Canyon Point, Utah in July, even though there are still travel restrictions in the United States and they're still reporting high numbers of coronavirus cases daily. She posted the pictures on Instagram. It's unclear who took her photos, but she drew criticism for potentially drawing tourists to the vacation spot during the pandemic. But Kylie also showed her philanthropist side later and donated $1 million for the fight against the coronavirus. As the philosopher Forrest Gump says, stupid is as stupid does. I understand that what one person sees as stupid can vary from another. But during a pandemic, stupid things do not only mean that people point or roll their eyes, it can be a matter of life and death. You've just watched People Doing Stupid Things. Share your absurd pandemic experiences with us in the comments below. We hope you liked the video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.